Hey, hey. Yeah, I be dancing in the background. I just love to dance randomly. I cannot dance at all, but I'm a chair dancer, Hey, you might think I could dance because, I'm in a chair and I can do all this, but I can't dance. So, happy Monday, everybody. How are you? Good. How are you doing? Well, that's great. Well, what did I do this weekend, you may say? Let me see if my mouth can catch up with my words. But I celebrated my birthday virtually with Black Trivia Group, and we had a fun night and just kind of kicked it. Somebody on this panel did not come. I ain't gonna call them out, but but yeah. So had a good time. It was a good show. I mean, good party. Just kind of laughed, joked. Kind of realized I don't know anything about Black Trivia. So it was a good show. Good show. It was a good game, good night. And then Saturday I didn't do nothing but just kind of chill. So it was kind of a fun weekend, fun week, celebrating my birthday. The party is still going. Drop some pictures on these people because I took some fabs of 40 pictures. So good. And yeah, so anyway, so this tonight, February, kicking it off. Hopefully pray to God that we don't have a month like we did in January. But we're going to talk about love this month, right? So let's kind of start off with a little something that I was like, I don't know about that one. So it's a new trend going around where women are now proposing to men. You heard me? I said it. Women are now proposing to men, and that is the new thing. And so a lot of people either is all for it or so against it. And there's more people against it than for it. So we thought we'll kind of talk about and navigate that through and really try to change somebody's mind about it, hopefully. Who knows? So let's bring up the crew. Now, as always, you got your boy DJ Schoolboy. What's going on?
What up? What up?
And we got your boy Trey. Hello, Trey.
What up? What up? Hi,
You see that side?
I see the side eye. I apologize.
Okay. And then we're going to bring up my girl Rhea. She is a friend of the show. Welcome back to the cookout.
What's up?
You changed the game on me. Got a little fresh since the last time I saw you.
Put all my good and bitches change. You know that is.
Okay. So how everybody doing?
I am fantastic.
Good. What about you, Eric?
Man, doing good. Excited about another good Monday. Let's see what we're talking about.
Yes. And then Trey.
Hey, Shirley, how you doing?
Yeah. Somebody missed a fantastic party on Friday. Would that happen to be you?
Yes, but I have a really good reason.
What?
My grandmother's birthday was the same week, and that Friday we were out shopping for my grandma. And then Saturday we had to take her out to dinner. So by the time I got done doing stuff for my grandma.
Grandma.
Hey, I'm saying, like,
you can't argue with Granny, so that
you wanna use your grandma. That was a low blow. Okay, I can't argue with a grandma. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, y'all heard me talk about this trend that women are proposing to men. I'm gonna go to you, Red, because you are kind of the other girl besides me on here. Would you propose to your man?
Absolutely, unequivocally not. I wouldn't do it on O.J. Simpson's knees, and I mean that.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
OJ has them old bad knees, and he can't get down on them, so I wouldn't get down on them either. Okay, that's what it is. In Jesus' name, amen.
So, Eric, what about you? Would you be okay with your chick if Patience proposed to you?
I think so. I think it's all about if you feeling the vibe. I mean, I think we, got to get out of the it has to go like this. It has to go like this. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't say like it would be like saying the male should always be the one to say I love you first. You know what I'm saying? So if it's okay for the female to say I love you first, it's okay for the male to say I love you first. It's okay for the female to pay for dinner. It's okay for the male to pay for dinner. Why can't a female offer up marriage? We're all on the same playing field. I think it's fair. I mean, it's just all about what you want to do.
What about you, Trey?
My bad. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't. It wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me. Although my wife, she had made it abundantly clear that I needed to propose to her. But if she would have did it the other way around, I wouldn't have tripped too much. I mean, I'm easy going, so it wouldn't matter to me one way or the other.
I think that's what it's all about. Like, so, it's all about what you want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it means the male loves you less if you happen to propose. You know what I'm saying? Or it doesn't mean the male loves you more if he does propose. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just, it's just all about you. It's just all about you to me.
Yeah, man. Fight these societal norms. Don't let people construct you and constrain you to do what you want to do. Be free.
This is
No,
like
but that ain't my ministry. So I'm not saying that it's wrong for others. It just ain't the one for me. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and bring up our expert, Tina Laws. I am so excited to have her on, and we're gonna welcome her on with open arms. So can y'all give up some love for Tina Laws, please?
Hey, all the way from Bermuda. How are you? I'm excited
Yes,
to be here.
Bermuda.
Yes. I hear
So
everything you guys are talking about, and I can agree with each and every one of you.
So let me first start off and say to you, Tina. So
Hmm.
quarantine has kind of got people either thinking about is this person I need to be with, or two, we need to go ahead and take this to the next level. And so with that being said, why do you feel like during the quarantine that everybody is just jumping on either one or the other right now?
Well, when you think about it, right? This is the most time that most couples, most anybody has spent so much time together. Usually, even if you live with your significant other, you either go to work, one or the other goes to work, or you're doing different things, running errands, taking trips separately. Now everybody has been in a position of having to be stuck, as some people say, together. And there are many of us have enjoyed that time because this is a norm for most relationships that are healthy, per se, right?
I can
And
say for
so,
me that go ahead. I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
No,
that's
I'm
okay.
saying my husband, he continued to work. So our
Hmm.
dynamic did not change.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know what God would have had in store if we both were still at home. I, I don't know. It may be a different conversation right now, but God knows our hearts. And he said, you know what? Let's make sure one of them are still going to work
Still good.
because they are going to probably shooting it. I know I'm going to get on his nerves. And likewise for me. So, but you were saying that people are starting to evaluate a little bit more and starting to think about their relationships. So I asked you, like, what do you think was a catalyst for a lot of people? Was it the fear of, COVID? It's like, oh my God, let's live it to the last moment. Or was it just like, you know what? We have reevaluated this relationship. Because I honestly think a lot of people either I don't know, not say stay together because of COVID, but it was kind of like people's like, oh, you only live once kind of thing. But even though you only live once, you may make some mistakes in that one life. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
what's your thoughts?
Well, I'll say this: the COVID made and have it's made a lot of relationships, and it has made a lot of relationships fall apart. And what I mean by that is that there are so many couples who have been together for numerous years, right? But like I said, because of various reasons, they wasn't stuck in one home for a long period of time. So what this has done is help you to evaluate your relationship, whereby, when you're together for a long period of time. Okay, let's use this for instance. If you go on vacation with your partner, right, and you're on vacation for a week or 2 or 3, you find some couples will say, oh my gosh, that's just too long. We couldn't even live together long enough. I was ready to come back in a week. That's only because they're not around each other 24/7. They was able to get in a position of learning the behaviors of each other that they didn't necessarily like, and they can run from when they were working. And so it's the same thing for COVID. For those relationships that didn't work, there are a lot of relationships that had to take a back seat and look and say, we really have to work at this relationship. And so for some, it had brought them much closer because they took the time out, and it's been over a year now, just about a year.
Yeah.
They have taken the time out to learn each other all over again, or recognize the things in which they never saw before because they was getting like this, right? And so some relationships got closer, and then there are some clients that have grown really apart, so much so that they've left the homes. One's living in one environment and one's living in the other, right? And so some people realized that they really didn't like their partner. They couldn't stand them. And they wondered, how in the world have I made it this far, right? And so you find a lot of relationships have stayed together for finances or the intimacy, the sexual intimacy. You understand? And so think about it, you're in COVID. So you can't have sex 24 hours a day. So after that takes place and it wears off.
If they can, what are they doing?
Well, if they can,
Lord.
they
If they're doing it 24 hours.
Right. And so
That's a
after
lot.
that takes place, what's left to do, right? And so they really realize that, what, and then a lot of people have gained weight, lost weight, done all sorts of things, right? The body's changed, everything. And so some of the things in which they was looking at before and lusting over or really liking, it helped them to love more or love less. So it has caused people to want to get married or want to get a divorce and have gotten a divorce during the pandemic.
I want to check in. So, Rhea, did you build your roster, or you narrowed it down to 1 or 2?
Ooh. I think during COVID, you just kind of had a great opportunity to have conversations with people. And so there was like one particular person that I was dealing with most of the time. It didn't end up being, I guess, would that be a narrowing? Is that a narrowing? Because I'm still
making. How many? You didn't have it as many?
I'm still making friends. I just didn't get to make as many friends in the last year because, we was in the house. But we found different ways to make friends, That's why everybody was having Zooms and all that. So, yeah, I mean, just less going out. I will say that.
Okay. Did you all get closer, Eric? Oh, for real? Because I can't hear you.
I'm on mute.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I definitely feel like we got closer. I think for the most part, it was that finding the balance. Because Patience is an extrovert. I'm an introvert. Like I don't, when she leaves home in the morning, I don't have to speak to anybody else for the rest of the day until she comes back, and I'm completely fine. Nobody got to call, check up on me, any of those things. And so going from that vibe into now I have to share my alone time all day, every day was a bit hard, but, it made it get to the point. And then not to mention, somebody who feels, who can feel like they're being pushed away and it can easily get their feelings hurt. You have to toe that line where you're like, I'm not saying I need to be away from you. I'm just saying I want to be away from everybody.
Yeah.
And, so when you have somebody who's, feelings can get hurt easy, you have to, work all those things out and get to a point where she was okay being in one room, I'm okay being in the other room, and then she doesn't feel like it's a personal attack.
Right.
By saying I just need space or whatever. So once we finally figure that out, probably mid-April, things were pretty good for the next month and a half. But it was a little struggle in the March area, because she's like, oh, it's fun time. It's
me and you all daytime, and it's like I don't work like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, once we got that figured out, and we were all good.
Yeah, and Trey, I'm not gonna necessarily go to you because you've had a different totally situation with last year or this last year alone. So I know your experience is different, but I can say that I'm just glad that me and Paul had our space. Now let's go ahead and jump in and I know you probably gonna go back and tell Paul. So yeah.
Whoa, what is this? What?
Every time I go back downstairs after this show, Paul got something new to say. Anywho,
What wrong?
But you might just be watching the show supporting.
I always need my space, like regardless of the relationships I'm in. Like like the last person I lived with, it was like, okay, so when we get this home, we need to make sure there's a place that I can go sit and read, because I'm very surprisingly to most people, I am very much an ambivert. And when I'm at home, I'm pretty introverted and I'm very quiet. And so it'll make people think something's wrong. It's not. I just really want you to not talk to me for an hour when I get home from work. And so that was with the guy I was initially dating. That was like kind of interesting for him. He was like, so you just not gonna talk to me? Like I would like clock out, put my headphones up, and I would just go sit down. He's like, you don't want to talk? I'm like, I just talked for 8 hours. You're gonna have to give me some time to like recalibrate. And he never got to see that before because it was usually like coming to hang out after work. And so I had my time. So that was an interesting discovery for him. And I didn't realize he talked so much after work. And I was
no, Tina, so okay, let's jump right in, the elephant in the room. So women are now proposing to men, right? And that is kind of the new thing that people are doing. I'm going to have to say this. Now, when women are now, why do you feel like women need to do that now? Why are they going towards that right now? Because traditionally, either he going to propose or you call him the deuces or you just going to stay with him. So why are women now proposing to men? Because, I'm not against what you need to do for your own relationship. It doesn't feel natural to me. So why do you think women are doing it?
Oh, well, think about it. The same reason why women are CEOs, the same reason why women are breadwinners in their home, the same reason why women are taking the bull by the horns in so many areas, because they're in leadership positions. And so, listen, when we were raised, most people, when they were raised, we was raised to believe that the man is the head of the household, especially if you was raised in a Christian home or religious home, right? And so we know in the Bible tells us Adam and Eve, and we knew that we had to follow our man and all those things. But what's happening a lot of now is that so many things are changing. Our world is evolving. Not that it's right, but our world has changed tremendously. And so now they're allowing things to happen that never happened. And so why wouldn't a woman now say, go down on one knee and say, will you marry me? Why wouldn't she?
But is that aggressive though? I mean, do y'all think that's a female being aggressive by proposing to her man? I mean, is that an aggressive moment? Because it may seem a little pushy. Like, look, you ain't gonna do what I do.
Is it aggressive if a man does it?
No.
It's love, right? It's just love. At the end of the day, it's just love. If a guy proposed, he do it because he love her. If a woman proposed, she do it because she love him.
Now, I want to show y'all this video real quick before we jump in a little bit closer. I want to show y'all this video because it was very interesting to me. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play enough for the people to see. So, hold on here. I mean, you at the mall.
Yeah, that's love right there.
Man, what?
Oh, look at him. Hey.
They got the full I just can't. I'm sorry. And look at him. Be like, she said yes.
But he a lame though. Like you can't go with a lame. Like that's what you gonna get. Look at that man
Yeah.
shirt. The man shirt
So
fake.
I just
Hair
don't
fake.
think
Man, that
this
man
is
a
what
lame.
Joe meant when he said all the things your man won't do. I
now,
just
Miss Tina.
refuse, guys. I just refuse. No, thank you.
Okay, Miss Tina. So you saw that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You when during our conversation, you said you almost did that, or you know somebody that almost proposed to their spouse.
Well, no, I actually many years ago. I'm not a millennial, and so I will be 50 this year. So you know I'm
Girl,
not a
black to a
millennial.
crack. You look
And
Black
amazing.
don't
so thank
crack.
you. And so when I years and years ago, I've been married 21 years this year, right? But years and years ago, um, I thought about it and said, you know what, this is the person I would love to spend the rest of my life with. This is an amazing guy. You know what? He deserves somebody like me. I will really do his life some justice. Maybe I should propose to him so he can see how much of a catch he really has. That was a thought. He beat me to it, but that was my thought. I thought about it back then. And so when you say, why are so many people doing it now, right? It's
Mhm.
because maybe many of us knew that traditionally that wasn't what women were supposed to do. But had that been something talked about in my home or that in the world, I probably would have done it. But we were always taught back then that you wait for the man, you wait on the man to make that decision. You wait on a man to make. I don't do that. See, part of what I do when I coach, I help women and couples to earn their position in relationships based off of that. Now, I am Christian, and so I have this beliefs. But I also believe when you come into a marriage or a relationship, people say it should be 50, 100, 100. You know, it should go, you should mutually respect each other on every level. Well, if we're going to cut everything down the center, maybe we should start considering why can't women do certain things that men usually do? You know, you
But
have
is
men.
it women doing it? Is it more of, I mean, is it saying, oh, I can do it if a man can do it? Or is it, he's taking too long?
It's various reasons. It's various reasons. Now, let me just go to what's happening. I talked about
Mhm.
the nice kumbaya part of it. So what's happening a lot of times is that sometimes women want to propose to men and are proposed to men, fear of losing them. Sometimes women are doing what man has done for years. With my grandmother, I guess, the men are her and the women are the breadwinners. And so they're just controlling the entire relationship. And some men are okay with that, right? And so they feel, well, okay, now this is what we're doing. So I might as well say, let's get married. I'll buy myself an engagement ring. I'll buy your wedding band and we'll get married and I'll continue to dictate this relationship. There are those type of relationships. Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
have this, yeah, and then you have those relationships where women can be kind of insecure
Mhm.
and they feel as though if they do this, it may tug on their loved one's heartstrings. And so that may show them just how much or what extreme they will go to be in this relationship, to make it work. They'll go as far as purchasing an amazing ring for that loved one and
Mhm.
proposing. Yeah. So there are various reasons why. And then there are those women who might propose like me or like other women that just say, you know what, we both bring in our own money. Things are great. We have a great relationship. Who
Yeah.
cares if one of us do it? You know what? We got a good relationship. So it wouldn't matter whether he does it or I do it. And then you have those women. You said something about would it make a man feel weak or
Yeah,
less
that's
than?
what I'm gonna ask for the men that's on here. I mean, do you feel like it kind of diminished your masculinity a little bit? But if a woman went to you and proposed to you, do you feel less of a man, or do you feel like, you know what? Yes, I got it. She proposed to me. I got her to do that. Like, which way is it going for y'all? Because
Mm,
I mean, I'm wondering because I don't know why, and maybe because I'm just somewhat traditional. I just think like if a woman proposes to a man, he either gonna feel like he got some clout or he gonna feel like
mhm, mhm.
less of a man because she did it and he's supposed to do it. So I'm asking y'all, do you think it would take away a little bit of your masculinity or for any man? Trey, I'll go with you first.
Oh, hey, it's very, very few things I feel that's gonna take away my masculinity. So no, I'm so secure in my masculinity, it wouldn't bother me at all. I feel
But you
like
did say you liked my dress the other day.
I said I liked your what?
My dress the other day. You
I
said
said
what size was that? I swore you had said what size was that dress. Like you wanted
I
to
feel like
wear
you're
it.
doing as the kids say in capping, but I will continue with what I was saying. But no, this is how I feel. I always feel like I like strong women and I like individuality and that stuff is attractive. So like if a woman came up and was like, yeah, I really like you, I'm going to propose to you. I'm like, oh snap, word, and then whatever. Like it's not gonna take anything away from me.
But you just got you got because you got a woman saying, you know what, she gonna propose to me. Yeah.
No, I mean, I ain't gonna be all like that. I'm just gonna be like, oh, yo, she's different. For me, it's gonna be like, oh, she's different. Because most women aren't gonna be like that. I'm like, oh, she's different. Like, okay, I like that. But I feel like most guys are not because they do fall into like the social norms, or they will feel like their manhood is gonna be less than, or they've been taught for, like Ms. Law said, they've been taught for so many years that a man is supposed to do this, and women feel like women are supposed to do this. Like, even though we're in a world now where women want to be so independent and want to do all this stuff and have all this power, which they should have, it's still certain things like, well, I shouldn't do that, or I shouldn't do that. For me, it's like, you do you. Like, it's not gonna, hurt me one way or the other.
What about you, Eric?
And so for me, I'm just a little bit different. Like for me, if somebody presses me too much, I'm not gonna trust you. And I feel like there's a reason why you're doing that. And in the infamous words of Tupac, if you're throwing it at me that easy, must be something wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my
I don't know
mind
what
goes.
your Bible looks like, but your Bible be like so lit. Okay.
That easy.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? So for me, it wouldn't work because, like I said, I would automatically start questioning, like, well, why? Because I think I'm a cool guy, but I don't think I'm the most handsomest guy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how you were asking, like, do I think you got it? And I'm like, nah, I ain't really got it like that. Like, I think people think I'm cool and da-da-da-da-da, but I know I ain't really got it like that. So I'm like, why are you pressing me? And then that's just going to keep making me build more walls for me to be like, I just need to get away from her altogether. So for me, it personally wouldn't work. But there are some people that, like that attention and, things of that nature. But just for me personally, it wouldn't work because I would, like I said, start being like, why are you pressing me so much? So.
Now, Ray, you say you'll never do it, but say if you are deeply in love with somebody, deeply in love, you don't even visualize yourself doing it?
No, because I do have to be on a daily basis so tough all the time. So it's generally with whomever I'm partnered with, I'm looking to be with somebody who is allowing me to be, who's respecting, like, the fact that I have to live, the fact that, like, professionally I have to be a lot stronger and aggressive just because of the field that I'm in and what I do. But personally is allowing me the opportunity to be soft and vulnerable, right? And to that point, if they're dating me, they know up front what I like and what I expect. And so it won't be a shocker to them that I'm not going to propose to you. Like, do you know, like, just being frank, if you find out I propose to a dude, he is knocking the box out of this. And I'm just like, I gotta have it, and I don't want anybody else to have it. Just know that the sex is that great. If I propose, okay,
at least you know.
I will have lost my complete mind and sense of self.
Well, you know what? I can't wait till that day. I'm like, I'm gonna text you like, dang girl, it must be knocking that box on you.
You
Now,
got
Tina,
so cool.
now, Tina, though, but you see, they're saying that it's two different ways that, Trey is saying it, you know, it's, he doesn't mind it. He likes an independent woman. And Eric is like, he thinks there's something wrong with her. So I want you to talk to those women out there.
No.
What did you
That's
say?
not
My
what
man,
I
correct
said.
me.
What I said was, I'm going to start thinking. There may be nothing wrong with the young lady, and she's just very, she's just very, this is what I want to do. She's upfront and honest, which I think is a great quality. But for me, and how I think, nothing's wrong with her. Because we got to be careful in 2021. People be blowing my DMs up. I heard you talking about women crazy.
Sharika try to set you up, man. You gotta be careful.
But Tina, okay, so correction. So what would you tell the girl or woman that's watching right now that feels like this is a move she wants to make, but society is not accepting of that? What would you tell her?
Well, firstly, what I would find out is what type of relationship does she have? Because proposing to anyone, you have to have that specific type of relationship. Firstly, you have to know that if this is something you want to do, he is also receptive to it. Now, it couldn't be like Eric, because that would mean they didn't have that conversation. Eric's more traditional, right? In that sense, where he believes that that's his manhood. That's part of him being the man in the relationship. And so conversation will have to be here. Communication will have to be open. The lines will have to be open as to what it will be like. Now, if they had that communication and the guy was like, you know what, okay, put it this way. If that brother is down right now and his finances are really low, and he often says, babe, you know what, you deserve the best. And until I can afford to give you the best that you deserve, whatever that rock may look like, however much that may cost, I'm not going to propose to you. But I really would love for us to get married. Okay, so that's an indication, and the relationship's going really well.
Right.
That's an indication that if she wants to go through with the putting it on his finger and going through with, will you marry me? Hey, go for it. Do what she's going to do, because she's going to do it anyway. But I think the problem I'm having is that people are wanting to do certain things without having the relationship, without having the toolbox filled up sufficient enough before you're doing these things, right? And so whether it be a man or a woman proposing, a lot of times people's proposing and they're nowhere near ready for marriage, right? And by the time you put that ring on, it's too late, they think. You
So do you
understand?
think that couple, go ahead, Rand.
What are some questions that people should be asking prior to the engagement phase, so you can gauge like where your partner is and where your partner is on marriage and proposals?
I got one. Look, we get married or what? That's one question right there.
But guess what? Guess what? You're my type of girl, because that's what I say. Listen, if you've been dating for long enough and as adults, right? Some people date after 2-3 weeks, they get married, they've been married for years. And then some people date for 15-20 years and get married and they get divorced the following year. So, what tends to happen in that is that you really didn't take out time to learn each other. And so it's just the communication phase. I would say it's a matter of, how do I know I want to spend the rest of my life with this person? Well, how does this person make you feel? How does this person make you feel? Are you still walking true to your own core values and your principles and your morals? Like, are you living that dream relationship that you always wanted? Right?
No relationship is a dream, though.
No, but listen to this. No relationship is perfect. Now let's clear this, right? No relationship's perfect. But you can live your dream. I'm living my dream, and my relationship's not perfect to maybe you, but it's perfect to me. You understand? Right. And so that's why you have to take it base by base. What makes me happy may not make any of you happy, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So that's why you have to play it by talking to your partner. You have to be able to communicate your needs. What do you want, need, and desire in this relationship? Not just, oh, I want great sex every day, 24 hours a day. If he's hitting the box right, I'm going to propose to him. Or can she or he cook? Right? Can he or she cook? Do they want to have children? How do they get along with my parents? How do they get along with my children? If they, if you have children, how do they get along with my friends, my mates? Do they even get along with my friends and mates? Do they work? Are they kind? Are they sympathetic? Are they empathetic? Like all these things. And part of learning that about a person is taking out time to date. Taking out time to date. And how well
People don't date anymore.
Agreement. Yeah. How well do you do when
I
you disagree?
actually had a great first date yesterday.
Oh,
He was super
Tell
nice.
us more. Give us a tea, girl.
I love it.
It
So
was
what
like,
was so great about it?
huh?
What was so great about it?
I love the conversation. And he asked me really good questions. Like one I'm still kind of chewing on. And I was okay.
Red
He's sweet though. He's sweet. I had a good time. I like the questions he asked, and he like just communicated so well. Like it was like, I like you. I think you are the most beautiful woman I've ever. But it was like genuine, and I was like, okay.
We're about to propose.
I'm not. And he was like, so, like, what are your intentions towards me? Because I know when I look at you, what I want. And I was like, well, now I got to pay attention a little bit and act right. So, no, we had a good time. And, yeah, that's all.
Somebody asked, what was those questions? They may need to steal it for their next relationship, I guess.
What did he ask me that, like, really kind of caught me off guard? He asked me what I was hiding from. He was like, you're single, but you've got like all this, and that going on for you. So I feel like you may be hiding. Why are you hiding? And I was just like, but so that's more pertaining to me. Is that Charvin? So that would be more pertaining to like me and how I roll. And the fact that he took the time to say like, just be very open with this is what I'm looking for. Right. And and this is why I asked you out, because I want to do this, and that. So he was very clear in what he's looking for from me. I appreciated that. And sometimes everybody wants to play it cool. There was like,
right.
No, he just played it very genuine and very authentic, and I appreciated that.
So I have to say, doesn't know that. I have to say to you, Miss Tina. So we talked before the show about a couple that I had talked to, and she proposed, and now she regrets it. So I guess my question to you is, she regrets that act. Should she regret that act because that's something she wanted to do at that time? Or is it you think it's something deeper of why she doesn't feel comfortable with what she did a couple years ago? And for those that may be watching, I met an individual that did propose, and they thought it was a dumb idea to this day. And so now they're like, I can't believe I did that.
Well, think about this, right? Whether it be a male or a woman that proposes to the other. If it doesn't work, it's because the relationship, many things are wrong or missing in the relationship. And so anybody, even people that get divorced, when you walk away, it could be a man or a woman, you say, that was, I don't know why I did that. So it's not necessarily that she proposed to him. It's the fact that she proposed to somebody that wasn't ready for marriage, or they wasn't ready for a relationship. And so that's the reason behind that. Because if it was a working relationship and they were happy and things were going really well, the conversation might have been a little different with you. And she's probably feeling disappointed and kind of a little embarrassed because she done something out of the norm. Because she proposed to he and he not her, she probably feels more stupid. He might have had an affair. He might have had somebody else. She might have found out that he wasn't what she thought he was.
It was all
exactly. And so now she kind of feels silly. She feels silly that she did something that she moved too quick ahead of herself before she took her time to figure out, is this person a keeper or not? And that's what happened.
You may not be married, but that ain't got nothing to do with the other person. Did you find out if they wanted to be married?
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I told Paul I do not shack. Okay. So we had moved in together, and I told him, you got 3 months because I don't do shacking.
Okay.
My husband is petty. He waited to the first day of the fourth month to propose. He paid. He paid.
Is
And he was
is
like,
that
kept on
not
telling,
pressure? Is that
huh?
not pressure? I know you were talking about pressure earlier in the conversation. Do you think that's pressure?
Hell yeah.
Were you packing? Were you packing to leave?
I mean, because he was
So
like, I was
here's the question: if you knew you didn't want a shot, you were only given 3 months, you were clearly ready to marry him. Why would you not propose?
I ain't
Ooh.
doing that because I need to know you need to work for this. And so
So
I'm just
pride. So you're saying pride is the reason why you wouldn't
maybe
commit?
I guess it will be pride. I mean, as a girl, and I know he's probably on the steps listening, Lord Jesus. Um, as a girl, I've always dreamed of a man proposing to me and it being a special moment. It's never been in my ether to propose to a man. So when we had moved in together and we were together like 3 months, he is petty. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a weed." At the time, he was gonna get a weed, and I was like, "No weeds coming in this house until I propose." He got a weed. Like these are the things that he did, but it was pressure because I just don't believe in checking. And I was just like, if we're gonna be together, we're gonna be together or not. And I wouldn't have done it. Like it would
So,
have just been
something comes to mind when we say that. A lot of why we do what we do or don't do is because we don't see it. It doesn't look normal because we've never seen it. Growing up, we always saw the man doing everything, right? And I'm not saying that because I have a daughter and a son, a 30-year-old and a 25-year-old. And I would want a man to propose to my daughter like her daddy did me. And I would want my son to propose to his wife, right? And that's only because that's how I was raised. But think about this. We say, I'm not going to do this, right? He's going to have to prove to me. But when do we start proving anything to our husband, to our significant other? The other thing is, what is your thought about leading in the bedroom? What is your thought about taking the lead and pleasuring your husband before he pleasures you? No, we have to think all that because it all comes into play. This is all to do with relationships. Relationships go both ways. I'm not saying we always want to do it, ladies. When we,
right.
but we've been taught that man's supposed to do everything first. And so
I'm
what
not saying
happened?
he needs to do everything first, but with that right there, I wasn't doing it.
Oh, that right there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So,
very independent, but I wasn't about to propose.
and to be honest, I thought about it because I just thought like this I just still say I'm still very much in love with my husband, and up until this day, right? I just look at him, I just love him, but I got to the point of I would love to do, but then I thought about it and said, how foolish, how would I look down on one knee, talk about do you? So that's where we got stuck. Only because I've
Yeah.
never seen it. Had I
I'm
probably seen it often, I would have proposed to him in a heartbeat, but I had never seen it. So how silly would I have looked on a knee talking about will you marry me and looking up to him and he says, oh man, I love you, but I ain't ready. So, we think of all those things and see, so that wouldn't work for me. So I said, to avoid me from pulling his limbs apart, I'm not going to propose because that would be an insult. That would be embarrassing, right? But really,
Yeah.
guys could do the same thing. We don't realize, as a relationship coach, I've learned so much more about how we view man, right? And man oftentimes thinks so much. We think alike. These brains we have, the difference is they react or respond to things so different, right? And so they internalize things much more, most men, than us women do. What quick to shoot from the cuff. They
Right.
will hold on to something and they'll tell you next year, right? That irritated me in 2005. 2005. If
Yeah.
something irritates me tonight, guess what? My husband's he's not gonna wait to 2025. He's gonna have all he needs is 5 minutes, and I'm gonna tell him. But that's just the differences, right? And so that's just some of the things we have to realize is that it's not that men are insensitive, it's not that they don't care. It's that the processes are so different from us most times. And even if you've been in a relationship for many, many years, it's just
Right.
learning. You have to learn your partner.
Well, Tina, you have been great. Now, before you go, I want you to give us at least 2 tips for that girl that's thinking about this right now. Give it to her right now, these 2 tips. And Ray here talking. Are you proposing somebody in the chat room, Ray? What's going on?
I'm not creasing my J's proposing to anybody.
Oh,
Man, if you don't get you a little iron and a wet
hey.
washcloth and get that crease out, that ain't real love.
Oh my God. Yeah, Eric is a sneakerhead. All right, Tina. So give the women out there that's kind of thinking about it, that's a little hesitant, maybe someone that's insecure about, but they really want to do it. Give them some tips.
This is for female, for male, or both?
For females.
Oh, okay. Well, firstly, what you need to do is make sure that this is a person you want to spend the rest of your life with. You have to make sure that the qualities in which you're looking for in a man, you're also bringing that same sense of qualities to the table before you even think about getting married. Okay, that's just one tip. The second thing is, why do you want to propose? What is your reason for wanting to propose? Are you proposing because you're afraid you're going to lose him? Are you proposing because you're the breadwinner and you control the relationship and your next step is you're getting married? Are you proposing because all your friends are married and he's taking too long or he doesn't have any money, so you want to do the same thing? Or are you proposing because you genuinely love each other and you want to be the one to do something different, but you have an amazing relationship? Think about those questions, right? And then the next thing is, if you're considering proposing, what do you think the outcome is going to be? Do you think he's going to say yes because he loves you and really wants to? Or do you think he's going to say yes because he feels trapped or forced? And that will be a decision. You make the decision from there.
Woo. Well, Tina, thank you so much for being on the show. Now, before you go, you have to do something
Oh,
for
Lord,
me.
help me. Oh, gosh.
I need you to sing or rap a song from your favorite nursery rhyme or book. I didn't forget. I don't know why people think I forget.
Well, listen,
Let's see what
I
you
don't
got.
have, I don't have, nursery rhymes. I asked my children. My son looked at me, his 30. He said, "Mama, I don't remember this. I was a child." And then my daughter was like, "Mama, nursery rhymes." And then I couldn't think of any. So I just thought about Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. And I'm using that. Let me tell you why. Bo, bo, bo. So listen, let me tell you why I'm saying that. It's because think about it. Jill followed behind Jack. Rather, Jack was her brother or her husband or her cousin. He was the boy. So she figured he fell and broke his crown, and Jill came running after. Why is that? Why wasn't Jill running and he fell down behind her? So that was just a nursery
That
rhyme
was
from
deep. That was deep right there. Jack and Jill. I didn't even see it like that. Yes.
Exactly. So we have to think about it. This is ingrained in us from, I don't even know how old Jack and Jill is, that rhyme, but it's been around for a lot of years.
Right.
And so we have to think in everything that we do, all we know is that men are to lead. But think about this, women. When you're out there winning all that bread and you're coming home and your husband by choice refuses to assist you, by choice picks up half your check every week and goes shopping, by choice does a lot of things that he shouldn't, and then you still want to propose to him, I want you to think of, is that the right thing to do or isn't it? And if he's doing this now, when you get married, it only gets worse.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Eric, what you give her?
I'm gonna go with a 10 because the song, hey, the song was what it was, but the breakdown on the back end deserves the 10.
All right, Trey.
Oh yeah, I got to give it 10. She broke it down, brought it all the way back. It felt like it was Lupe Fiasco a little bit. So I got to go ahead and get that to her. Give her a 10.
That felt like a sermonic solo. Like, you listen to the sermon and they be like, I heard the songwriter say, and they break it down. That's what Miss Tina did. And that was fire. I love it. 10.
All right, thank you.
I don't do participation.
Here come the hater. Here come the hater.
Come on.
You get a 9
All
because
right.
you gotta have something to strive for next time. So you can't do,
Next time I'll be singing. I gotta work on that. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Tina, for being on the show. We definitely are going to have you
Thank you
back.
guys for inviting me.
I'm about to click you out the screen, but stay on because I want to talk to you at the show. But thank you
Sure.
so much for being a part.
Thank you. Nice meeting you guys. It was so
Nice
great.
to meet you.
Thanks.
Good to meet you.
All right, guys. So what you got? Come on, Eric.
All right, here we go. Put on your thinking caps, Ricky. Here we go. Why are elevator jokes so classic and good?
Okay, say it again.
Why are elevator jokes so classic and good?
Because they go up. No.
Not really.
Oh, close. Because
One
they
more
rise
time.
to the
Why
case.
are elevator jokes
Ooh, that's
so
a good.
classic and good?
Trey, you said that was a good one. Rise to
That
the
was a
case.
good one. That was a good one. You only get like once a year, but that wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was a good throw.
Elevators.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me think. One more shot.
It sound like
All right, one more time.
hell,
Why
but
are
I feel like
elevator jokes so classic and good?
because elevators go up different, like floors are like they're funny on different like. What's
They're
another
funny
one?
on different levels.
I'm gonna give it to Raya. It's and the answer is they work on many different levels.
Get out! Get him out!
Sharika,
But
you've
I
been doing this
said,
for 3 years. She came in one show and got it wrong. Come on now.
but I
Come
did say
on now.
it's rising up. That has to give me something. You know what?
You ain't Andrea Day. You ain't rising up.
Well, anyway, y'all, if you have a topic or you want to be on the show or you want to be a sponsor, go ahead and email us at momadidn'ttellmetthis@gmail.com. We are always welcoming you to come on. So if you want to come on, feel free. We're about to go to Clubhouse. I'll let you know how we're going to do it. I don't know quite yet, but we have been invited to come. So anyway, y'all have a great week. Bye.
Peace.